Hi, welcome to engvid.com. I'm Adam. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about some business English, but more specifically, we're going to talk about meetings, business meetings, and what goes on there and some of the vocabulary you will need to know if you have to go to some of these meetings. Okay, we have a bunch of words here. I'm going to go through each one, make sure you understand what it is. So every meeting has to have an agenda. Actually, I'll stand on this side a little bit. Every meeting has to have an agenda. What is an agenda? An agenda is basically the plan or the list of topics that need to be covered in this meeting, right? So by the end of the meeting, you have to cover these points and then the meeting can break up or whatever, okay? So that's the plan. We also use this for other situations, like somebody has an agenda, means somebody has a goal they're after. In a business meeting, the plan. The goal is to finish these lists, the list of priorities. At a meeting, someone will be designated to take notes, okay? So you designate means you choose someone or you assign someone a specific task, okay? So every meeting, somebody else takes a turn, or sometimes some big companies have one person whose job is to take those notes. Now, those notes are called minutes. Like the same minute, like you think about it in terms of time, minutes are the notes or the summary of a meeting, okay? At the end of the meeting, the person who was designated to take the notes will go back to his or her desk and type up a list of the main highlights of the meeting and whatever goals were achieved, whatever items need to be discussed next meeting, etc. So notes. Now, somebody might put forward a motion, okay? Put forward a motion. A motion is basically the same idea as a proposal. Somebody says, okay, I think we need to do this, let's vote on it. So anything that needs to be voted on is called a motion, okay? Their idea, their plan, their suggestion, etc. After somebody puts forward the motion, everybody else in the meeting room will have deliberations. Okay, they will deliberate on this motion. Basically, they will discuss it. Everybody will say what they think, what they like, what they don't like. There'll be a general discussion about the motion, and that's called deliberations. Sometimes these deliberations involve a conference call. A conference call is basically a call with people outside the meeting room. It could be on Skype, some sort of video program, could be just a telephone call, but it's a speaker and everybody in the room can hear and be heard, and the person on the other end can hear and be heard as well. So it's a conference call. Then everybody will brainstorm to come up with new ideas. So brainstorming is basically thinking, but thinking hard about a specific topic and trying to come up with different ideas for that topic, how to do something, etc. Hopefully, everybody in the room will collaborate. People from different departments might come into a meeting to talk about a project or a product or whatever, or a campaign. Everybody has to collaborate. Everybody has to work together. That's what collaborate means. A good company will have people who like to collaborate. They like to work as a team. Some companies, it's a bit more difficult. Then, after the deliberations, after the brainstorming, after all the talk, it's time to vote. Okay, so everybody will cast a ballot. We also talk about this when we talk about politics. After the campaign for a political position, the public goes to cast a ballot. They go to the ballot box to vote. So cast a ballot, vote. Now, there are different ways to do it. There's a secret ballot, okay? If you have a secret ballot, then everybody writes their answer, their choice on a piece of paper, puts it into a box, and then somebody collects them, yes, no, whatever. There's an open ballot that everybody knows what everybody else is voting. This is called a show of hands. So show of hands, who's for the project? Who's against? Okay, and then more hands this side wins. More hands this side wins. Show of hands. In a classroom, a teacher might use this. Okay, does everybody understand? Show of hands. If you understand, put up your hand. Good. Sometimes you'll hear the ayes have it. Another way to vote is All in favor say aye, aye. All against say nay, nay. More people say yes. The ayes, not these ayes, the ayes, this means yes. The ayes have it, means the yes side wins, okay? Now, hopefully you will reach a consensus, or you will reach a unanimous, excuse me, decision. Consensus and unanimous are very similar words. Consensus means all, or at least almost all. So if most of the people choose one side, then you have a consensus, then that's a good decision, everybody's on board. If it's unanimous, means everybody agrees or everybody disagrees. So unanimous means everybody. All the people who are voting made the same choice, okay? Now, sometimes if you can't make a meeting, okay, you're out of town on business or you're sick that day, but you want somebody to cast your ballot, to vote for you, you can send a proxy. A proxy basically means a substitute. Somebody who will go in your place to vote in your name, okay? We also think, if you read the news, you sometimes see like proxy war. A proxy war, when you have two very big countries, if, for example, Russia and the United States decided to have a war, that would be a lot of destruction because they're both very big countries with very big militaries. So if they want to fight, but they don't want to fight directly, they will fight through smaller countries. They will find a small country and a small country, and they will send these two countries to war as a proxy for themselves, right? In a business meeting, it's not so bad, but it's still the same idea. It's a substitute. Okay, so then the meeting is all good. You have your ballot, you have your choice, everybody's in agreement, it's a consensus, etc. It's time to wrap up. When you're wrapping up, basically you're bringing the meeting to a close. You finish all the last details. Any questions? No, everybody's good. Okay, let's wrap it up. Everybody sign where they need to sign. See you next week, next meeting. And then you adjourn. Adjourn means you basically end the meeting, or sometimes you suspend the meeting. Okay, this meeting is adjourned, means it's finished. We're going to adjourn this meeting until next week. So it means we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and finish next time. Okay? Adjourn. The D is silent. You don't actually pronounce it. So there you go. You're ready to go to a business meeting in English and be able to handle all these different words. If you have any questions about them, please go to engvid.com. You can ask me in the forum. You can take the quiz, make sure you understand all these words. Of course, subscribe to my channel if you like this lesson, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.